Welcome to the show, everyone. This is episode 27. Today should be a good day, a fun day, as we tackle that old adage, write what you know. So stick around, we have a lot to cover. What does it mean to write what you know? On the surface, it seems pretty limited, but answer me this. If we only wrote what we knew, would we have any Lord of the Rings? Would Robert Heinlein and George R.R. Martin ask you, do you want fries with that? We wouldn't go to Paranormal Activity 16 in the theaters, and we wouldn't turn on X-Files on our televisions at home. To write what we know, only cops could write true crime, and inmates on death row could only write about murder mysteries. And you can forget about Disney and Aesop and the Grimm brothers too. If we only wrote what we know, literature by its very definition would not exist. So we have to look deeper. What did they mean when they said, write what you know? I mean, we don't even know for sure who they are. There are some that attribute the adage to Ernest Hemingway and others to Mark Twain. But like so many of their stories, we need to interpret. Let's break it down and find out why we should most definitely write what we know. Emotion. At its core, writing is a form of method acting. You may not know what it's like to be in a gunfight at the OK Corral, but you do know what it's like to be scared, or to act brave, and maybe be a little crazy. The emotions in writing come out through our characters. And like real people, our paper people have feelings, emotions. They experience loss and pain and heartache. Even if the only physical pain you've ever felt is a bee sting on the arm in 3rd grade, you can extrapolate that feeling into a bullet wound. Maybe it's just a bee sting, but it still is the most painful thing you've ever felt. You may never have had to sit on the ground, gunfire going off all around you, holding your best friend's head in your lap as he dies. But you do know what a gunshot sounds like, or at least fireworks, and how the anticipation rises in your throat and the boom echoes through your chest. You've lost a pet, maybe a relative, or the championship baseball game, or maybe you lost that perfect boyfriend or girlfriend. So maybe you weren't at the OK Corral to write about it, but you have felt how the Cowboys felt. You've heard what they've heard, and you can extrapolate those feelings and emotions from your experiences and put them into words in your story. And when you do that, your readers will feel those feelings and they will understand those emotions. Write what you know is about feelings and emotions, and those deep down connections that we all share. Write what you know is more than that. Think about fact checking. If you're writing a war piece, you should probably know that the actual equipment being used in that war. You don't want the enemy, for example, to be flying F-4 Phantoms when in reality they were flying F-14 Tomcats. Readers of those particular genres already know. And if you try to pass off something as fact that they know is false, you're going to lose readers. Accuracy based on research is crucial. Biographies, historical dramas, period pieces, they all need to be accurate. And since you can't go to London, England and see how it was in 1845, you need to do research. And once you have completed your research, then you know. And when you know, you can write what you know. Writing what you know isn't showing your work. And next week we're going to cover why you should never show your work. But instead of showing that you became an expert in warships of the Palestinians, use your knowledge to write an epic tale about a Palestinian pirate ship. Write what you know isn't a cliche. It isn't a trope either. Sure, having first-hand knowledge gives you a head start. And it's also easy to make your main character a writer, or a warehouse worker, or a full-time student, because these are things that you know. And it's easy to make your friends and loved ones into characters in your stories because you know them. The most basic definition of write what you know should honestly be avoided. Instead, draw on your emotions. Draw on your feelings and equate them to how your character feels. Then do the in-depth research on the rest. If you've never been stabbed, for example, look it up. Speak to those that have. Read about the possible infections, how long it takes a scab to heal, why the area around the wound gets pink and swollen, itches like crazy. Then, when your main character gets stabbed, you'll know he won't be miraculously cured by dinner. And he will scratch the wound site like he's trying to escape his own skin. Do that and your readers will know it too. For science fiction, don't be cliche. You ever wonder why aliens always look so human-like? Because humans are the only humanoid form science fiction writers know about. However, if you were to research some physics, a little bit of space travel, add in a dash of the space-time continuum, you would know that a gelatinous sphere is the most economical and efficient form to travel space in. Maybe that's why we haven't seen aliens, because they all look like raindrops. But if you're going to write about an intelligent species that's not human, maybe they shouldn't be human. Maybe these beings that travel all the way to Earth are so technologically advanced that even their bodies are advanced enough for space travel. You don't have to research ghosts and demons to write about them. but you should research the science behind it. Know what tools are being used to try to discover them, what's working, what's not working, why certain things happen that are attributed to a haunting or a ghost presence. Knowing these understood facts will help you be more credible in your work. Just because we don't have actual proof of aliens or ghosts or demons, we have an understanding based on science and technology of what we can expect if they were to appear all of a sudden. And knowing the science and technology behind all of this will help you as a writer convey a more realistic or believable story to your readers. And that's what we want, right? We want to give our readers what they want. We don't want to turn them off. We don't want to make them close the book by giving them facts that aren't fact. If you're going to write about a gun, you should know everything about that gun. If it's a Smith & Wesson model and it's a lever action and it was only produced for 12 years in the early 1950s, then it shouldn't appear in your novel that takes place in 1908. Gun enthusiasts are going to pick up on that. Historical readers are going to pick up on that. And they're going to laugh at you. And they're going to put your book down. And then they're going to tell everybody. And those everybody's are not going to pick up your book to begin with. Give the readers what they want, but give them what you know. Write what you know? Yes, absolutely. You just make it a point to know as much as possible. Until next week, kids, have fun and write words.